So I want to try setting up a development environment on Ubuntu. This is 20.04 LTS long-term support, and I wanted to have both 3D and video. So I'm thinking Unity 3D, Blender, DaVinci Resolve, Handbrake, but also development tools like obviously Git, Node.js. Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDEA, the JetBrains Rider, maybe even toss a Docker on there. What I have is a fresh install here, brand new install of Ubuntu 20.04, the LTS long-term support, and it is looking awfully purpley. So how about we start out with just some general appearance. Launch Firefox here to grab a wallpaper for the background here. I'm going to go to my labs wallpaper and let's grab the Fulton Center, New York City. Sweet. Save this image into my pictures about. Got it. Yep, okay, got it. All right, okay. can't get it until I save. Right. Save pictures. There we go. Sweet. X out of all this. All right, let's change background. Oh, let's add a picture, and there we go. There's my image. Open that up. Oh, that's already better. While I'm in here, icon size is a little large. Let's drop that down. Say maybe 24. Why not? Date and time. Let's convert this to AM PM. Yeah, that's already getting better. How about a dark theme? Let's open terminal. Let's see here. We want the GNOME tweak tool. Let's get that installed and let's launch it. GNOME tweaks. Let's go to the appearance and yeah, let's just get a dark theme going here. Sure, why not? All right, that is already looking better. Let's get some general software on here. So I am not a huge fan of Firefox. Let's install Google Chrome. Let's use Firefox to download and install Google Chrome. We'll grab it here. Download 64-bit Debian package. Let's go ahead and let's save it. And there we go. Downloaded. Go into my downloads folder, and there it is. Double click to load the package. And let's go ahead and let's install. Awesome. Close out of here. And let's go ahead and let's launch it. We'll make it default. Awesome. We'll add it to our favorites, and while we're in here, let's just clean up a little bit. Let's remove Firefox. It's an email client, audio, office, help. Very good. And while we have Chrome open, let's go ahead and let's install Dropbox. I think the Dropbox implementation it is lacking in selective sync. It has selective sync, but you don't have like the online only. Let's see here. Let's go into the download, and here is our package, 64-bit. Keep. There we go. And And in our downloads folder, let's just go ahead, double click it to install this package. All right. Dropbox will need to install a Nautilus update. Let's just go ahead and launch. I'll let it do its thing here for a brief moment. Okay, sign in. And you want to make sure that you go into your preferences and update your selective sync, which I'll do now. And now we have Dropbox installed, available here, and of course our folder. Voila. So now that we have our general appearance and a couple of apps installed here, Chrome and Dropbox, let's install some developer bits. I'm going to bring up a terminal. And actually, I'm going to add this terminal to my favorites here. Shuffle some things around. Nice. Well, let's start with the essential build system. I'm going to sudo apt-get install little essential. This will get us some general compilers, utilities that we'll need down the road. Awesome. While we're here, let's continue with let's install Git. Sudo apt install Git. All right. Version control, and while we're here, let's install curl. We'll be making some command line download requests. Be a nice utility to have. It's always a nice utility for development. Awesome. Let's install Node.js. Node.js is a little tricky to find. Oops. Of course, that doesn't help. Node.js packages are offered through Node Source. So when you're on this download page, you want to go to this installing Node.js via package manager. And here we've got our Ubuntu. And it lists binary distributions available from Node Source. So here, let's see here, is our command that we'll need to execute, which will give us version 15 of Node.js. That's pretty current. It's pretty awesome, actually. So let's copy this. It's going to download the little setup script. It's going to add it to our sources list. Let's just fire that off. And with that in our sources list, we can now perform the install. Awesome. Let's finish out Git with a UI that I like to use a lot called GitKraken. Let's go ahead and let's download. We will find the Debian package. Beautiful. Let that download. Keep. It's a nice little UI for Git operations. Like anything else, but just double click to install. And let's go ahead and install. Awesome. And let's launch and add it to our favorites. Do my sign in here and be right back. So one of the packages that I find really valuable is Docker. And Docker is fantastic for the development environment to kind of fill gaps or just kind of more seamlessly introduce utilities, especially if there's some variability between projects that you're working on in terms of the dependencies that you need on the system. So while we're setting up this development environment, let's actually go ahead and let's install Docker, and we'll install Docker Compose as well. The installation is a little tricky here. I'm just going to do a search for Docker. Some more real estate here. Actually, I'm just going to do Docker Ubuntu. Let's see here. We want to start right here. So our system's up to date. I'm going to skip this step. Let's bring up a terminal. We pretty much just have to walk down the line here, right? So let's start out with some of these dependencies. Excellent. And now we need the official key. Whoops, that's obnoxious. Let's try it again. At the $sign there. All right, excellent. It's probably a good idea to verify the key. We'll just do this verification stage, execute that, and our key does match, of course. Excellent. So we are x86 64, specifically AMD 64. So we are ready to execute this guy right here. All right, now we've got it in our source list. Let's go ahead and just update our sources, which I think actually already occurred. That seems like a redundant step, but now let's install our Docker system. Say yes. All right. I think what's missing from this guide is let's go ahead and start the service. Let's see here, sudo service docker start. For a development machine, there's permissions issues like on the socket of Docker. I think it's a good idea to just let's do a sudo user mod, and we're going to add Docker group to our account. So I'm obviously going to type my own account. You would type your account, your login right there. And in order for this to take effect, I find like I have to reboot for this to take effect. I think you're supposed to be able to log out and log back in. I've had some issues with that, so I'm going to reboot and see out on the flip side. Okay, so after the reboot, let's just come in and make sure that Docker actually worked. We'll run the classic hello world. So let's do Docker run hello world. It's going to download the image and execute it. And yeah, hello from Docker. And should be able to see our container, and let's just get rid of that container now that we've confirmed it working. Perfect. While we're at it, let's grab Docker Compose. And for that, I'm just going to do, let's see here, Docker Compose, Ubuntu. And here we want to go to Linux. We want these two instructions. So let's go ahead and let's grab this. Get a fresh terminal here. We'll get that binary installed to user local bin Docker Compose. And then we just need to change mode executable so that we can actually execute that. And now I think we should be able to do Docker Compose, right? Do I know the version? Yeah, excellent. So that's our sort of core development tools and runtimes. And now how about let's do some editors. Editor that I really like. Visual Studio Code, very functional on, well, everywhere. Let's go here. Let's download Debian package. Beautiful. Let's keep. Show in folder. Let's go ahead, double click. And let's go ahead and install. Perfect. Okay. Let's make sure that we've got it and that it works. Code. There it is. Awesome. Let's get this added here. So there are two additional editors that I really like that are both part of the JetBrains family. One is IntelliJ IDEA, the other Rider. IntelliJ IDEA I think is kind of more scoped for Java, but features a lot of like Node JavaScript. It's kind of the flagship product that features a lot of integrations with various languages. Rider is more geared for, say, C#, and we'll make a nice integration with Unity coming up here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install both of these. IntelliJ IDEA does have its own installer. A little clunky. I think just I'm just going to use a snap package here. I'm going to sudo snap install IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate. I'm pretty positive. Yeah, classic. All right. IntelliJ IDEA. Let's see if it's there. Whoops. Let's see if it's there. There it is. Awesome. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. All right. Sweet. Awesome editor. And let's install JetBrains Rider as a snap package as well. Sudo snap install Rider classic. All right, we've got that package installed. Let's launch it, make sure it's there. There it is, JetBrains Rider. I love the integration between Rider and Unity. Let's go ahead, let's get it set up. Let's go with dark. Did I launch it twice? No. Alright, I want it's a tough choice between the dark and the Rider dark, isn't it? Let's go with our kind of more C# style or Visual Studio style themes. Yeah, let's just run with this. .NET Core is not yet installed. We should have done that. That's okay. All right, let's get through this and boom. All right, we have got JetBrains Rider. Let's actually get .NET Core installed here. Let's download and let's get current. All right, and let's go to Ubuntu. And yeah, 2004 LTS. Sweet. Did not install wget. We should have done that when we installed curl. That's okay. Sudo app install. Whoops. wget. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's just execute these. Let's see here. Let's get that. Let's get the package. And fire off the install. All right. Let's also install the runtime here. Just copy that there. That's convenient. Fire that off. Nice. All right. Unity on Linux, I think, is still a little primordial, still a little beta. It's kind of tricky to find. Let's see here. If we do Unity, just maybe Unity Editor for Linux. Yeah, right. From here we go to latest builds from Unity Hub, and takes you to this forum page. Little odd. This first link is bad. Take this second link, and that's going to give us an app image. Let's see here. And with this app image, let's move it to opt. A couple of things. Let's do this. Let's go into downloads here. Let's move this to opt. Let's make it, let's see here. Let's go to opt. Let's change mode, add an executable to this app image. And that should enable us to just double click it, right? Yeah. We'll agree or accept the license agreement. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's log in. Let's add our license. Now that we're signed in, managed license will activate personal license. Don't use for professional capacity. All right, we got license. Let's go to Unity editors. Actually, let's leave preferences. Here we go. Installs, and let's add a Unity install, and we'll just take the recommended. Actually, no. Let's do the latest. Let's do 2020.2, and choose what we want to have here. Oh, maybe we want Linux, WebGL if we're targeting browser. Documentation looks good. Let's fire that off, and Unity Hub will manage our projects as well as our installs. So we'll give this a minute to pull down the 2020 install of Unity. So now that we've got Unity installed, let's try creating a project. Let's do new. Let's take Universal Render Pipeline. Sure. New Unity project. Give it a path. I'll just place this in my projects folder. Create. First launch of Unity is going to have to pull some packages down. It'll take a little bit longer. And here is our sample scene. Awesome. Very cool. Let's exit out of this. Let's try to pull a package or an existing project down and load it into Unity. Exit out of Unity. Let's do this. Let's go to my GitHub repositories, and let's pull my Unity Rockslick Sharkura package, copy that URL, and let's use GitKraken to clone the repo down. Let's clone a repo into projects, enter the URL from GitHub. All right, open. Here is our repository. So I'm going to add My project here, my project's path, open. There we go, Unity version. Matches, otherwise you can just set that and perform an upgrade. Let's go in here and load my Rocksix scene, and let's try this out. Sweet. Very cool. Let's test out the integration with JetBrains Rider. Go into scripts. And actually, first we need to go to Edit, Preferences, External Tools, our external script editor. Could use Visual Studio Code, but let's try out Rider 2020. And let's see if that works. Right-click on this and say Open C# project. And here is Rider loading up. And very cool. Here is our Rider integration with Unity. And we can go into our scripts. Load it up with the README there. But yeah, here are our C# scripts. Very cool. Alright, now let's install Blender, which we'll do from the Snap Store. I'm just going to do a search for Blender Ubuntu. We'll go to the download, and here we will select the Snap Store. And here let's copy to the clipboard our snap instructions. Fire up a terminal and sudo snap install blender. Alright, let's check that out. And here we go, Blender up and running. And there is our entry scene. So easy. Let's try downloading one of the sample projects from Blender, which I have here. This restaurant. This is like the Hi, my name is Amy restaurant animation scene for Blender. Yeah, here we've got the scene loaded. Go ahead, we'll allow execution. And here is playback of the scene. Kind of slow during my screen capture, but yeah, we've got Blender fully functional, up and running. Okay, finally let's install some video utilities. One utility I like a lot is Handbrake for video conversion. Let's go in here and let's actually take this PBA. Here we need to execute the code right here. Let's open up a terminal, and first let's add this to our sources list. And I think the update already occurred. Let's just fire that again. And our install is right here. Whoops. Let's do the sudo handbrake GTK install. All right, I've got that installed. Let's check it out. Handbrake. Great utility to transcode video, optimize video, like say for MP4 conversion. All right, and then finally, let's try DaVinci Resolve. Very powerful video editing, pro editing software. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's download. Let's stay away from the beta. Let's grab 16 Linux. And I will complete this form and then come back on the flip side here. Okay, now that we've got the zip file downloaded, let's go into our downloads folder. Here it is. Let's extract. Oh, let's place it right here. Installer as well as an instructional document. Okay, let's close this out. Let's just get rid of that. Open up the instructions here. Be some drivers. Probably worthwhile to review some of the documentation there. Open a terminal and go into our downloads folder. And we're going to change mode executable on the run. And then let's go ahead and let's execute that. And here we go. Walk through the installer here. Accept the license agreement. And let's do it. Sweet. All right. We've got our installer. Close everything down here. All right, let's fire it up. DaVinci Resolve. Here it is. Booting up. And might have to check back on this. The way that I'm running this at the moment, I don't have this driver, but we do have it installed, so stay tuned. I'll have a follow-up on some video editing on Ubuntu, but we do have it installed. It is working. Just need to get some drivers corrected in there. So there we go. We've got pretty rich development environment. We've got some editors. We've got 3D software. We're set for 3D game creation or for animation. Pretty sweet setup here, all on Ubuntu